Dear students, now we are going to study structure of egg or the ovum. You all know that this ovum is result of oogenesis process which is initiated in the fetal stage. Oogenesis is going to complete only when the sperms will arrive in the fallopian tubes. The developing egg, or you can call the secondary oocyte, is liberated from the ovary by rupturing the Graafian follicle there, and you know that the secondary oocyte is in the metaphase second, means the meiosis second is going on in that secondary oocyte, and when the meiosis second will be completed, only then it will convert into ovum. And when this meiosis second will complete, it will complete only when the sperm will touch that secondary oocyte in fallopian tubes. Okay. So I have shown here a structure. I have labeled it as ovum, but actually this is structure of secondary oocyte which is arrested at metaphase second. Like the other cells of our body, it is having a lot of cytoplasm and a covering membrane. Here I have drawn a line which is representing its plasma membrane. But if you are comparing its size with other cells of the body, you can see that it is larger. Why it is larger? It is near about 0.1 millimeter in size. And why it is larger? Because we have studied that when oogenesis was taking place and from primary oocyte, two unequal sized cells were formed. One was polar body and other was the secondary oocyte. Size of secondary oocyte is large because most of the cytoplasm of primary oocyte after division, it is contributed or it is given to the secondary oocyte, while the polar body was small in size because it is getting a very small amount of cytoplasm. So because of unequal cytokinesis, unequal cytoplasmic division, the two cells unequally formed two cells, they have different sizes. Okay, so this is larger because it is having large amount of cytoplasm contributed by the its parent cell, that is the primary oocyte. Okay, so it is a large cell and it is not motile structure. It is not going to move because it is not having any motile structure like flagella or tail as that in case of sperms. Where it is present? It is present in the fallopian tube. Okay. It is having the plasma membrane which is called as oolemma. Its covering plasma membrane is known as oolemma, and its cytoplasm, it is rich in cytoplasm, and this cytoplasm is known as ooplasm here. Okay, and its nucleus is known as, this is the nucleus I have represented here. This nucleus is known as the germinal vesicle, and in this nucleus I have shown the chromosomes or the spindle chromosomes which are attached to the spindle fibers arrested at the metaphase second stage. Okay, so they are going to complete their metaphase second and then will enter in the anaphase second only when the sperms will reach near this egg or this oocyte here. Okay, now see, I have also drawn some grain like structure. These are actually shown with the red color to highlight them. This small granular structure inner to the plasma membrane, means towards the cytoplasmic side. These granules are known as cortical granules. Okay, so if we start from inner side, we are going to move outside. We can see that there is cytoplasm, the germinal vesicle, the nucleus of the cell, then the cortical granular layer. They are covering all the inner layer of the plasma membrane, then the plasma membrane. Okay. Now, after plasma membrane, you can see that there is a space here. This space is known as perivitelline space. Perivitelline space. And in this perivitalized space, you can see a small cell. This small cell is actually the first polar body which is formed during meiosis first, that was in primary oocyte. And the primary oocyte undergoes the meiosis first. It has formed two cells. One was this polar body that is lying outside the plasma membrane of the bigger cell, the secondary oocyte. Okay. Now this polar body, because of presence of this polar body, we can also assign polarity to this cell also. The pole which is having the polar body is known as the animal pole, and opposite pole is known as the vegetal pole. Okay. So animal pole and vegetal pole, these are the two terms assigned on the basis of the presence of polar body, on which side the polar body is present. Now you can see another layer. This is a very thick layer. After this perivitalized space, this space, you can see a very thick layer. This is a 3-layered structure actually, made up of glycoprotein, and this is the zona pellucida that we have studied in the graphene follicle also, that when the secondary follicles, they are maturing into tertiary follicle, then there is a glycoproteinous layer which is formed, and this glycoproteinous layer around the secondary oocyte is known as zona pellucida. This plays very important role during the fertilization process. We will discuss it when the fertilization process will take place. Okay. Now, exterior to this zona pellucida means zona pellucida is then again followed by another layer of cells. You can see these cells are elongated in nature, elongated cells. This layer is known as corona radiata. These are the cells of follicle, because this structure is liberated from the graphene follicle. So the graphene follicle cells were covering this secondary oocyte also. So these are actually the follicular cells which are now termed as corona radiata. So if we see this structure, we can easily find out that there are a number of layers of this egg. If the sperm cells to fuse with this egg, they have to cross a number of layers. Like first of all, they have to cross the corona radiata, then the zona pellucida, then there will be a space, the perivitalized space, then the plasma membrane or the oolemma, and the cortical granular layer. So there are a number of structures present which the sperm has to cross before fusing with that of nucleus. Okay. Now, interesting thing about the human or mammalian egg is that it is elacetal. Elacetal means it is not having yolk. Yolk is actually the yellow colored or nutritive material which is present in the eggs, most of the eggs of those animals in which the development is external. But in case of mammals like us, placental mammals, the female is going to support development of the fetus or the embryo. When this egg will be fertilized, then the zygote will be formed, and after zygote embryo formation will start, and the embryo will get attached to the female body so that it can derive the nutrition. So there is no need to store food in this egg that will later develop into fertilized egg. Okay, so for food, because the zygote or the embryo will be fully dependent on the female body, it will derive its food from the mother. That's why there is no need of yolk here. So human eggs are elacetal in nature. Okay. And one more thing you can mention here, that as in case of other animal cells, there are centrioles. Two centrioles are present in each animal cell, but this cell is not having any centriole also. Okay. So I have shown this structure. You can call it ovum, but you should actually call it developing ovum. It is actually the secondary oocyte which is in the metaphase second stage, and when it will complete its metaphase again, it will enter in anaphase again, and then anaphase will be completed and converted into it will enter into telophase again. Then only we will call it the egg. And you should also remind that in oogenesis process we have also studied that when it will complete its meiosis second, then again there will be formation of a second polar body there. Means again the division of cytoplasm will be unequal. And this should be clear that why the division of the cells are unequal, or why the cytokinesis is unequal in this case, because when the zygote will form, then immediately embryo formation will be also start, and because of immediate embryogenesis process, there will be cytoplasm of this egg or this ovum, fertilized ovum, which will be distributed in the embryonic cells. Okay, so this is structure of ovum, and I hope this is clear to you.